Continuing with my series on industries on my layout, which give my layout purpose, we're going to look at another key resource in the area of southern BC, which of course is lumber. I have two online industries. I have the Pope and Talbot mill, which has inbound and outbound loads. I'll get into that later. And then I also have the Penticton Lumber Company, which also has inbound and outbound loads. I also have lumber and log loads moving on and off the train layout, as well as wood chip loads. Some of them move to and from these two industries, but others are just moving through on bridge traffic. Here we see Okanagan Valley Train 74 heading eastbound to Midway, which is where Pope and Talbot Industries is, and it's hauling two empty thrall door boxcars, which will be loaded with lumber and head back on Train 73. Pope and Talbot also ships out full loads of wood chips. Here we see the local switcher Midway Yard positioning the wood chip loads ready to be picked up when Train 71 arrives. Next we see Train 71 leaving Midway, heading westbound with the wood chip loads in tow. Prior to becoming Train 74, the train is noted as CP82. It changes crews in Penticton because he's moving east. So prior to where we saw earlier, this is a train coming into Penticton Yard. It is hauling with it empty thrall door boxcars as seen on Train 74, which will be going to Pope and Talbot Lumber. It is also hauling some cars of logs, which are going to go to Penticton Lumber Company. Later in the operating session, CP81, which is also earlier Train 73, is now leaving the layout in the staging with the loaded thrall door boxcars that you saw earlier on, plus the empty bulkhead flats, which earlier brought in log loads for Penticton Lumber. Here we see train CN566 from Kelowna, and on that train are two empty wood chip loads, which will eventually go to Pope and Talbot. But CN566 will interchange with Train 72, which will take them up to that industry. Also in tow is an empty bulkhead flat, which will be interchanged with Okanagan Valley Train 93, which will have a full load of load, and that is basically bridge traffic. And lastly, there's a load of logs, which is going into Penticton Lumber. Train 72 is seen here making its way up through Myra Canyon, heading back eastbound. In tow are two empty wood chip cars going to Pope and Talbot as it picked up the loads, which were on train 71 earlier. It also has 2 lumber loads shipping from Penticton Lumber to points in eastern Canada and possibly in the United States. Okanagan Valley train number 93 is just about to arrive in Penticton Yard, and in tow are 2 lumber loads which are to be interchanged with CN 565 north to Kelowna. Once again, bridge traffic. In this last shot, we see CN train 565 heading back to Kelowna with 2 full loads of lumber that interchange with train 93, once again bridge traffic, 2 full loads of wood chips from Pope and Talbot, which interchange with train 71, and lastly, an empty bulkhead flat as the logs have been unloaded at Penticton Lumber. As you can see, the lumber industry provides multiple industries both on and offline on my layout, and once again helps to provide my layout purpose and enjoyment to run. Thank you for watching this video. If you like what you saw and wish to see more content on model trains and real trains, please subscribe to my channel.